All right. So we're going to start full on test prep for these last 6 weeks. And I want to go over some ELA strategies for reading, for understanding, and how does that play out in the test, and what do the questions that require you to use that skill look like? Everyone can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, what are context clues? I'm sure you've seen this word before. Does anyone remember hearing context clues before? Third or fourth grade? Raise your hand if you have heard context clues. Okay, good. So many times we read stories or information and land on a word that we don't know. Guess what? There is a way to know the definition of the word without actually looking for its definition in the dictionary. I mean, who wants to go on Google and find the meaning of it all the time, right? So there are ways that we can use the text to understand the meaning of those words that are difficult. So why is knowing the meaning of words important? Daniel G, can you please read the first 3 bullets? And Sims, can you read the last 3?
In poetry, they allow the message of the poem to be more alive in our minds as we read. It helps us envision to understand. They help us learn new vocabulary so that we can use the exact words for what we mean.
Knowing the meaning of the words help us understand characters in the whole world around them. They are helpful in making sense of the tone and mood. Overall, they help us understand what we read.
Yeah, so there are many reasons why learning the meaning of words is important. And that's why we should try, when we are reading, figure out the meaning of those words. They really expand your knowledge, they expand your vocabulary, so that when you speak to someone, you can find that exact word that you need to say in order to express what you mean. So, very important to understand the meaning of those words. Now, let's watch a video that reminds us why it's important to understand the meaning and a little bit into how we can use context clues. Give me a second. Let me share with sound.
Sorry, Josh, I couldn't help myself.
Let me restart that.
Boo! Ah! Sorry, Josh, I couldn't help myself. Josh, that can is all shaken up. It's ready to rupture, and I will not clean up your mess. Ah! I just told you it was ready to rupture.
Yeah, but I don't know what that word means.
Well, didn't you hear the clues in what I was saying? I told you it was all shaken up and would probably make a big mess. Those clues should have let you know that rupture means explode.
Yeah, well, I guess that means you're not going to help me clean this up.
You're getting smarter all the time, aren't you, little brother?
So let me go back to one very important part of the video.
Yeah, well, I guess that...
Which is...
Yeah.
I told you it was all shaken up and would probably make a big mess. Those clues...
Okay. So I told you it was all shaken up and would probably make a big mess, right? So he had warned his little brother, that can is all shaken up and it's gonna make a big mess. It's going to rupture, right? And he's telling him that he should have known what rupture meant by just, using the words around the word rupture, like really understanding what he's trying to say. He could know or come to the conclusion that rupture probably means it's going to explode. Okay. So context clues using clues in sentences and passages to work out the meaning of an unfamiliar word. For example, my friend from Brazil really suffers from the cold during our Chicago winter. I think as fifth graders, we know what the word suffers mean, but if we see that word and we don't know it, right, we can see the words a friend from Brazil, right? If you know where Brazil is, it's in the south, it's south of the equator, so it's a warm country. It's very hot there. And the friend is suffering from the cold during our Chicago winters. So suffer is probably something negative, right? It's probably a negative reaction to the cold because the friend is from Brazil where the weather is hot. Any questions? Okay. So sometimes writers define a word right after they use it. And they use words and phrases such as means, is, refers to, or are called. So when we are reading text and we don't know the word, not always, but many times the author actually defines the word right after, saying words like means, is, refers to, or are called. Let's look at an example of how we can use context clues. She thinks the house is valuable, but this is incorrect. The house is worthless. And we see here that the question says, which context clue shows the meaning of worthless? And the correct answer is be an antonym, right? Because in this sentence, they are comparing, right? They're making it a contrast. She thinks the house is valuable, but then we see the word but, this is incorrect. So that means they're about to introduce the correct or the opposite of valuable, which is worthless. So value probably means that the opposite of worthless. And that's why the correct answer is that worthless is an antonym of valuable. Know that in your EOGs, you might find a question like this. So if you don't know what valuable is, you can use the context clue, but this is incorrect, right? Valuable is not the correct way to describe the house. The house is actually worthless, which is the opposite. And so if you know the meaning of valuable of worthless or worthless, you know that both of them are antonyms or opposite of each other. Most pirates stole coins to spend, not bury. Oh, before that, do we have any questions about context clues? Okay, let's practice. Most pirates stole coins to spend, not bury. One pirate who did bury treasure was Captain Kidd. In 1699, he hid gold and silver on an island near New York. People have dug up some loot, but more may still be concealed. What does the underlined word mean? The underlined word is concealed. Please use the chat to answer your question. Is it A, hidden, B, illegal, C, discovered? And be ready to tell me what context clues you use to figure that out. I will give you 1 minute. Okay, I should have three more answers I'm waiting for. Okay, let me check out your answers. Okay. So the correct answer, like you guys said, is A. What are some context clues? So unmute yourself and share that tell you that concealed means hidden.
I think some of the context clues are, if you look in the text, it says that he buried the treasure, and then it says that the people have dug up some of it. Then it says but, to kind of like contrast that they dug up some, and then it says but more may still be concealed. And so you think, well, if it's contrasting that, if it's contrasting that they have dug up some of it, that means some of it might still be in the ground, so some of it might still be hidden.
Very good. Thank you, Sophia.
Well,
That's right. Go ahead, Daniel.
So I think concealed is a hidden because, like, well, one, I know what it is, but the context clues that it gave me were, well, I mean, none of this text is illegal.
Mm-hmm.
Discovered, you think? Well, it tells it it's discovered. People already discovered it, but that's not telling you. The story says people can discovered it, and they said people also, but some may still be concealed. So discovered can't be it. So if you think about it, it's just hidden underground.
Right. Very good.
Like, I'm not going to say it, but it's exactly what Sophia said.
Yeah. And so words like illegal, hiding something may be illegal, right? But the direct definition seems like it could be hidden because the text repeatedly is telling us that they're burying, right? And they're digging to find. So it's probably the best answer would be hidden. Good. All right. Let me stop sharing for it. So I think you're ready for our Jeopardy game. On context clues. Are you ready? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see how many of us are there today. There are 11 participants, including myself. Let's play together as a team. So we are one team and we want to get as many points as possible. Maybe we'll try breaking up into teams another day. It'll just take a little longer. So let's see. Share screen. Okay. Where is our Jeopardy?
When we answer the questions, are you gonna like call on us, or we just unmute, or do we write it in the chat?
You're going to write them in the chat. I will give you a timer though. Let me just pull up my timer just as a time limit to how long it should take us to answer the question. Okay, and I'm gonna give us 3 minutes for each question. Okay, any other questions about Jeopardy before we begin? So what I can do, give me a second because I want to pull up the random from
I don't
Stowe.
understand the chart. The chart looks weird.
You don't understand what?
The chart. I mean, I know how you use the chart, but the chart looks really weird to
Oh,
me.
I know it's a little funky the way they have the titles. Let me,
It's the same thing. It's just misspelled and stuff.
okay. So there are some people that are not here. All right, so I will pick someone randomly and that person gets to go and choose from the Jeopardy board. So let me explain to you. All of this is saying context clues. This is saying context clues backwards. This is saying context clues in like text style, then this in capital letters and this regularly, and this is general ELA review. Okay, so if it is your turn, know that 100 is, it goes from easiest to hardest, right? The more points you choose to have, then the harder the question is. This will give you a text and there will be a vocabulary word. I will tell you what the word is and we have to try to figure out the meaning by using the context clues. When you know the answer, you're gonna write it on the chat and then we'll look at the answer and see if we are correct. Is that clear?
Does everybody write it on the chat or just the person you choose?
Everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just randomly choosing a person to choose today. Okay. Okay, let me just do a little roll call before. Okay, so I want to just copy down the names to keep track of your answers. So Sophia, Juliana, Liam, Daniel, Sims, Zoe, Amari. I just want to thank you guys because you guys are always, you know, I see you and going into the Zooms every day and you try to be here every day. Okay, so let's do this. Okay. Let me pick randomly. Amari, you are our first person. Tell me, I guess this would be column 1, 2, 3, and 4, or 5, and for how many points?
I'm gonna go for.
Hold on, speak a little louder.
I'm gonna go for 300 points.
For which column? This one, 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5?
Number 1.
Okay, 300. 3, 2, 1. Please nullify our agreement. I am not interested anymore. What does the word nullify mean? You have 3 minutes. Put your answer on the chat. 2 minutes left. Okay. Let's see. Good. All right, everybody got it. Nullify means to cancel, to end, to undo, to, break it. No more agreements. We cancel this. I am not agreeing anymore. Good. All right. And let's reveal the answer first. What is cancel or to void? Good. Okay. What? Escape. All right, next person. This little bar over here is bothering me. Okay. Daniel. Let's go back.
General ELA review for 400, please.
General ELA review for 400. The writer or author's attitude towards the text is, ooh, I like this one. All right, 3 minutes. The writer or author's attitude towards the text.
Does this have to do with like first, third person?
I don't know, Daniel, write what you think on the chat. You still have 2 minutes and 20 seconds. One minute, 30 seconds. Uh-oh. How can I go back to my meeting? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to go back to seeing you guys because I hid the bar. But now I don't know what I did. Oh, goodness. Where are you? Hold on. Okay. Nope. Okay. Let me go out of the meeting. No. And then come back. Can't do that. Hold on, let me figure out how to return. Sorry, guys. I can't see you at all. What you see on my screen, that's what comes up.
Do you want us to log off and log back on?
No, I don't think that'll help.
Okay. Do you know the answer?
Do I know the answer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then.
but I want to see your answers. Hold on. How to unhide.
Can you just click on chat?
It won't come up. Arrow
I
next
think
to
she was like the screen.
Miss Lamos,
projected.
promote me as the host or somebody else, and then leave and try to come back if you can promote somebody.
Hold on.
I think she can only
Return to
be
meeting.
projected.
Yay. Okay.
Okay, if
Uh,
you, okay, let's see.
I got
Oh,
it.
okay. Normally, if you right click it, I think it said, you can right click on any other user and select show myself.
Oh, okay. If I right click, okay. Thank you. I'm just not gonna hide that thing again. Okay. Let me see your answers. Yes, so it is the author's mood. It's the mood. Any questions?
I wrote opinion.
If you go back, Daniel, to our lesson on mood, you will see that the definition of tone and mood is the author's attitude towards the.
That seems right. I didn't think of mood, but like mood is kind of like an opinion. If you had an opinion on something, like a bad opinion on something, or
Right.
opinion, that's based kind of on your mood. So I'm sort of right, sort of wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So the opinion is shown through the mood that they're trying to, the mood that they convey in the story or the text. Okay, and space bar. What is tone? Good. Tone and mood. You're fine. If you put mood, that's fine too. The tone and mood, they're together. All right, escape. All right. Next person. She's not here. Zoe, I think she left. All the people that left our class. Isabella. All right. Column 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. For how much?
Column 2, 100.
400?
100.
100. All right, here we go. After the basketball player committed a flagrant foul, he was immediately kicked out of the game. What is a flagrant foul? I'm gonna set the timer for 2 minutes because we're gonna run out of time. Okay, just waiting for a few more answers. Check. All right, I got a few. Horrible, intentional, big or bad. Complete, move. Okay. All right, let's look at the correct answer. Flagrant means what is obviously offensive or an obvious offense. So think of flagrant that is very visible. It's not like the audience or the people there didn't see it. It was very visible, dramatic. It was very obvious. Okay, and what lets us know that a flagrant foul, he immediately kicked out of the game, right? He was immediately kicked out. You know, when you get kicked out of the game right away, it must be pretty offensive. It must be pretty obvious, because if everybody saw it, then you got to get kicked out. Okay, let's choose another person. Liam. Escape. Column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For how much?
Column 4 for 300.
Column 4 for 300. I have a plethora of cookies. Please take as many as you want. What is plethora? All right, come on, all answers in. Okay. Okay, most of you said the same thing, a lot or a large amount. Let's see, the best answer is, and I believe it's variation, an excess or more than enough, a lot. Good, you got it. And what are the clues that you get to figure out the meaning of plethora?
It says take as many as you want. So that must mean, like, everyone wants cookies, so that must mean that they have a lot to have somebody take a ton.
Good.
And I have one thing to say about these context clues.
Uh-huh.
It's basically more than just kind of figuring it out. It's mainly just common sense.
Exactly. It's a way not to go to the dictionary, right? You're just looking at what's around it to figure it out. Many times we're reading and we get stuck on a word and we just get desperate and we say, I don't understand. But if you just look at the words around it, what is it trying to tell you? What is the context? Where are they? What is going on? Maybe you can figure out what that means.
So it's kind of like an educated guess.
Exactly. All right, we'll play for 5 minutes more and then we will go. Tomorrow you will get an article and questions on context clues. Okay. Javen's not here today. Juliana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for how much?
5 for 300 points.
5 for 300 points. A child struggling with anxiety and self. We haven't seen this. Let me skip that. I'm sorry. We haven't seen it, so I don't want to be unfair to you. And this doesn't sound like ELA. Okay. Sorry, Juliana, can you choose something else?
Four for 200 points.
4 for 200. Even though a storm had just come through the lake, was strangely very placid that afternoon. What does the word placid mean? 2 minutes. Okay, let me read your answers. Yeah, so most of you were on the right path. What is still, calm, or peaceful? What context clues did you use to figure that out?
It said that that it was strangely placid. And usually you'd think after a storm it'd be chaotic and like windy and maybe flooded, but strangely it was calm. And so if so it's like unusual is kind of what strangely means. And so it kind of shows you that it was.
Okay, we lost you a little there. Anybody else want to share? Yeah, so Sophia's right. It also says, even though a storm had just come through, right? It's kind of setting you up for a difference, right? A storm just came through, even though, right? So it's setting you up to introduce a difference. Something different happened, something that was unexpected, something that is not usual, as we see the word strangely. So after a thunderstorm, and a thunderstorm is pretty dramatic and there's a lot of movement and craziness and it's not peaceful, then we see the word placid and we know that it's strange. So placid must be the opposite of a storm, which is peaceful. Okay. All right, guys, we're gonna end it there. Did you like using Jeopardy for test prep? Okay.
Yes,
Good.
ma'am.
All right,
Yes.
and we'll continue using Common Lit articles. I will start also using other material that I have on some days. And please take the Common Lit articles seriously. Think that you're practicing for the test. So make sure that what you're reading, you understand it. That's why I give you about 3 or 4 days usually to do it, because I really want you to take your time as if you were taking the test, but you don't have any time limit. So just try your best, and we will be talking tomorrow for our math lesson. Okay? Bye, guys.
Hey, can we talk for a minute?
Yep. If you need to talk to me, please stay.
Bye.
Amari, you can stay as well.
Bye.
Bye.